Welcome to the Killer Innovation Show, the longest continuously produced podcast in history. Each week, Phil McKinney brings you the insights and strategies to amplify your creativity and innovation skills. Here's your host, Phil McKinney.
Innovation partnerships can create breakthrough markets or hand them to competitors through some terrible decisions. I know this because I lived through both outcomes. Bill Geiser from Fossil and I had exactly right. We built MetaWatch, a smartwatch with a week-long battery life, Bluetooth connectivity back in the day when it was still early, and every feature that would later make the Apple Watch successful. We had HP's massive retail reach, Fossil's manufacturing scale, and the technical vision to create an entirely new market. But our organizations could not execute on what we knew was the right plan. Leadership chaos at HP and innovation paralysis at Fossil killed a partnership that should have dominated the smartwatch market, but instead handing Apple a $50 billion opportunity. Now, I've shared the complete behind-the-scenes story of the people, strategies, and decisions and discussions that killed this partnership over in my studio notes over on Substack. Link is in the bio if you want to read all of the gory details. But today, in this video, I'm going to apply the DECIDE framework to our partnership failure and give you a decision autopsy. If you haven't seen my DECIDE framework yet, grab a free PDF. It's over in the decision tools that I've developed over 30 years of making high-stake choices. You'll find the link in the description. Because here's what this partnership taught me. Having the right vision means nothing without the right decision framework. So, what happened? Well, let me start by explaining why the HP Fossil partnership should have worked. This wasn't just another business deal. It was the perfect storm of complementary capabilities. Bill Geiser, Fossil's VP of Watch Technology, had been working on smartwatches since 2004. The man was practically clairvoyant. In 2011, he told me, "Look, Phil, I wouldn't be shocked if Apple evolved the Nano to take advantage of this space. They're going to legitimize it in consumers' minds worldwide." Bill understood something most people missed. Apple didn't need to be first to the market. They needed to be first to create a platform. Now, at the same time, I was developing HP's connected device strategy. We had the technology foundation, unmatched retail distribution. We controlled 10% of the consumer electronic shelf space. That's the same retail muscle that Apple used when it came to HP and asked us to actually be the launch of the original iPod. Together, Bill and I had solved the hard problems. We had the vision, the technology, the market insight, and the reach. But we couldn't overcome the organizational machinery that prioritized short-term comfort over long-term position. Innovation partnerships aren't just about having the right technology or the market vision. They're about having the right decision framework when uncertainty meets organizational reality. So, before I decide on show you how DECIDE could have saved our partnership, let me show you the 3 traps that derail even the smartest collaborations. Bill and I understood what needed to happen, but our organizations fell into every one of these traps. So what's trap number 1? The innovation type mismatch. This is when you apply the wrong decision framework because you've misidentified what type of innovation you're going to actually pursue. It's the most common partnership killer because different innovation types require completely different approaches to risk, timing, and success metrics. In our case, Bill and I understood that smartwatches represented a platform opportunity, a new ecosystem that would change how people interacted with technology. But our organizations treated it as a product extension that wouldn't threaten their existing businesses. HP's leadership viewed MetaWatch as another device in the portfolio, rather than as a foundation of a connected ecosystem spanning tablets, phones, and laptops. Fossil's leadership saw it as a development platform and priced it as such. They priced it at $200. That's innovation theater. They did that so that it would not cannibalize their traditional watch sales. Here's the partnership recognition question. Have you correctly identified what type of innovation you are pursuing together? Because applying incremental decision frameworks to breakthrough opportunities or product frameworks to platform opportunities will kill partnerships before they even get a chance. What's trap number 2? Safe innovation theater. This combines revenue protection with organizational risk aversion. Both companies wanted to appear innovative without actually risking anything, risking their core businesses, their position, product infusion, anything. HP didn't want to cannibalize their enterprise focus. Fossil didn't want to threaten traditional watch revenues. So instead of going all in on market creation, both organizations positioned MetaWatch as a safe innovation, a development platform for engineers, not consumer products that could disrupt the marketplace. Bill faced an impossible organization reality. Fossil's watch sales had tripled to $3.25 billion during the smartphone era. How do you convince leadership to risk that success for an uncertain new category? The partnership recognition question is, are you innovating to create markets, or are you innovating to appear innovative while protecting existing revenue? What is trap number 3? Governance complexity paralysis. Bill and I found ourselves fighting the same battles on different fronts. One was convincing leadership that wearables represented a platform shift, not just a product extension. But even when we had the right vision, we couldn't execute at market speed. Multiple shareholders created governance complexity without clear decision authority. We'd have month-long approval cycles for changes that startups could implement in days. I remember one meeting where we spent 45 minutes debating some minor esoteric detail, while Apple was probably finalizing their entire ecosystem strategy. The fatal blow came from HP's leadership chaos. We cycled through 3 CEOs in 13 months, each with completely different visions. When Leo Apotheker arrived, he immediately decided HP should become an enterprise software company, not compete in consumer platforms. Our partnership needed startup decision velocity, but we were trapped at committee speeds across 2 large organizations with conflicting priorities. Partnership recognition question would be, can you move at market speed together, or are you trapped at the slowest organization's committee speed? Because innovation partnerships under uncertainty require aligned decision velocity. So, now let me show you how the Decide framework, which you can download for free on Substack, link is in the description, how Decide could have saved our partnership. This isn't theoretical. These are the specific decisions Bill and I needed our organizations to make differently. So the decide framework, D, is define the real partnership decision. Define the decision. Our first mistake was never clearly defining what we were actually deciding as partners. HP saw it as extending our mobile ecosystem. Fossil saw it as diversifying its product line. I saw it as platform creation. Bill saw it as a market preparation for the inevitable. But we never aligned on the fundamental question. Were we creating a new product category together, or were we each using the partnership to serve our existing strategies? The decide framework forces this clarity up front. What decision are both partners actually making? Until you have alignment on the decision itself, you cannot make it well. You cannot be successful together. What we should have defined is we are deciding to jointly create and dominate the smartwatch platform category before Apple legitimizes it. What's E in the word decide? It's examine. Examine the market creation potential together. Traditional partnership evaluations focus on combining existing capabilities. Innovation partnerships need to evaluate market creation potential. Bill understood this completely. He predicted exactly what Apple would do, but neither organization had a framework for evaluating market creation partnerships versus product extension platforms. For market creation partnerships, you can't study competitors or analyze customer segments. Why? Because they don't exist yet. You need a different evaluation criteria focused on timing, platform potential, and ecosystem readiness. What we should have examined is, are we positioned to create and own a new category, or are we just building another device? The C in decide is challenge individual cannibalization. Decide what you're going to do. Here's where partnerships get interesting. Fossil feared cannibalizing traditional watch sales. HP feared distracting from enterprise transformation. But we never addressed how a partnership could protect both companies from external cannibalization. The framework question isn't whether partnerships will cannibalize existing businesses. It's whether the partnership creates better protection than going alone. What we should have challenged is, what happens if Apple creates this category without us? What market position will each company have then? The I in decide is identify the partnership innovation type. We treated our partnership like an incremental product collaboration when it was actually a breakthrough market creation partnership. This requires completely different success metrics, timelines, and risk tolerance. Incremental partnerships, you can require certainty, detailed market research, predictable ROI. Breakthrough partnerships, you have to accept uncertainty. You have to optimize for learning speed and measure different success metrics like market position and ecosystem readiness. What we should have identified is, this is a breakthrough innovation requiring platform thinking, not incremental innovation requiring product optimization. In decide, that second D is design the partnership scenarios together. Traditional partnership planning tries to predict success through the innovation partnership planning and prepare for multiple futures together. Face it, nobody can get and predict the future perfectly. You have to work it together. We should have built scenarios like, I don't know, what if Apple legitimizes this category in 2 years? Which they did. What if consumers aren't ready for smartwatches? New York Times challenged me publicly. There's a great article down over in Substack in the resources. You can read the New York Times article where they attacked me on this whole prediction on the future of watches. This is before the Apple Watch came out, which proved the New York Times to be wrong. Or what if we succeed and we do create a billion-dollar market? What happens then? But most importantly, what if we don't partner and we pursue this separately? What if we don't pursue this at all? These are the kinds of questions we should have been asking. And what we should have designed is multiple scenarios where our combined capabilities create different outcomes than our individual capabilities. And then the E, execute with evidence collection as partners. This is where our partnership completely failed. We optimized for committee consensus instead of rapid market learning. We needed to fail fast or succeed fast together. Instead of quarterly partnership reviews, we needed weekly sprint cycles. Instead of seeking approval for perfect plans, we needed permission to test and iterate quickly. What we should have executed is rapid market validation cycles where both partners learn and adapt together, not separate approval processes that just slows everything down. So, do you want to apply this to your current innovation partnerships? Here's a 30-second audit using the DECIDE framework. Answer all of these questions. Question number 1, have you clearly defined what decision we're making together? Question number 2, are we optimizing for market creation or capability combination? Question 3, what external threats are we protecting each other from? Question number 4, what type of innovation partnership is this really? Question number 5, what scenarios would change our partnership strategy? And number 6, how quickly can we test and learn together? If you can't answer these questions clearly with your partners, if you haven't actually sat down and thought about it, you are not ready to make breakthrough innovation decisions together. Pause this work, focus on really understanding the kind of partnership you're talking about, the kind of innovation. What is it you're doing together? It's not just a slap your name, put out a press release, and say you're doing some kind of a partnership. Now, it's okay that you don't have it. Clarity about partnership uncertainty is better than false confidence in a flawed collaboration. So, let me be clear about what DECIDE would and would not have guaranteed for our partnership with Fossil. Would this framework have eliminated the uncertainty? No, nothing eliminates uncertainty in breakthrough innovation partnerships. Would it have guaranteed success? No. Even perfect decision frameworks cannot overcome poor market timing or execution failures. But would it have given the HP Fossil partnership a fighting chance? Absolutely. It would have aligned our decision-making process with the type of decision we were actually making together. Most importantly, it would have helped us recognize that we were making a platform partnership decision, not a product partnership decision. That recognition alone might have changed our entire approach to market timing, resource allocation, and the success metrics. So, innovation partnerships aren't about having the best technology or the smartest people. They're about using the right decision framework when uncertainty meets organizational reality. Bill Geiser and I had the vision. We had the technology and the market insight, but our organizations couldn't execute on what we knew was the right path because we didn't have the decision framework to bridge individual company interests with partnership potential. Every side of the partnership had what it thought was the right strategy. The DECIDE framework won't eliminate uncertainty, nothing can. but it will help you and your partners make better choices under uncertainty, which is what innovation partnership leadership actually requires. So here's my challenge for you. What innovation partnership opportunity is your organization considering right now? Apply the DECIDE framework with your potential partners and see what you discover. Are you making the right type of decisions together? Are you optimizing for the right outcomes? Are you prepared for multiple scenarios as a partnership? Because somewhere out there, another brilliant partnership is about to hand their breakthrough innovation to a competitor through bad decision making. And don't let it be your partnership. Don't let it be your innovation. The framework is free over on Substack. Link is in the description and in the show notes. For the complete story on how the organization failures killed the partnership between HP and Fossil, including specific people and pivotal moments that changed everything, go over and read how HP and Fossil handed Apple the smartwatch market. It's over in my studio notes, link in the description, and in the show notes. The partnership opportunities are waiting. The choice is yours. What will you and your partners decide to do together? And with that, don't forget, subscribe, hit the like button, and share this with somebody. Spread this around, help us get the word out. The more subscribes and likes we get below, the more content that we can create. You can help us. So click those buttons. Greatly appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next week with another great episode. Bye-bye.
Podcasting nonstop since 2005, this has been the Killer Innovation Show on the Innovators Network.